Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokat. Welcome to Living in Two Worlds with my co-hosts Ortrun and Carl Franklin and myself. And tonight is Thursday, January 30th. And welcome to the show. We certainly are appreciative of you guys joining us on a Thursday night. Thank you for all of those that are in the live chat and those that will be watching via the recorded show. We appreciate that. Can't wait to get this show started because we are going to be talking about the energy that we're in right now, that 2020. So let's bring Carl and Ortrun on.
Hi, everyone.
Wait, just hang on just a second. There we are. This is Rob. Thank you, Rob, for producing, by the way. Thank you so much. Yeah, there we are.
Okay.
Hey, it's good to see you guys.
Hi, everyone.
It's wonderful being here again. We haven't been here with you actually for 2 months, I think November and December. So it seems like it's been forever since we've been together. So being back here with you is just a real privilege for us. So I'm sure Carl feels the same way, right?
Yes, yes. We've missed you.
Yes.
Oh, we hope you've missed us too.
So tonight's show is basically going to be on, it's called the What a Year 2020. Yes,
2020.
Anyhow, I keep saying it wrong, I think. But what a year. This is what a year it is. That's really the kind of year it is. So it's just mentioning about this particular year, it's just the energies are tremendous throughout the year. There's so much going on, and that's what we're going to delve into today, is the energies. And we've experienced much energy in 2019, but it was all preparation for what's going to be unfolding in this particular year. And it is thought to be that year of one of the most important throughout the ages. So we'll talk about all that in a little bit. So Carl, what have you got to add right at the beginning here?
If you look at what has happened to you in the month of December and thus far in the month of January, and realize that as the months roll by, the tempo of change is apt to increase even more than it has been. I don't know what happened in your personal life, but I know in ours, there's only one word I can think of to explain it, and it's hectic. And when you're young, hectic isn't all that bad, but when you get older, you don't have the same energy to deal with it. And so it's been fascinating. It's a real learning experience. And you may not want to hear this, but based on recent information, what we're starting off with here is just a foretaste of what we're going to be living through, not just in 2020, but it's going to continue, and probably at an increasing pace through 2024.
Wow.
Well, and it's probably going to be even longer than that, to tell you the truth, but because of the things that are occurring along the way.
This was based on this channel information that resonated with me. And during this period of time, there's going to be a lot being revealed. And things cannot be dealt with until they are known. And there is an awful lot that has been going on that we, the public, have not been aware of. And rather than hitting us with it all at once, it's going to be spread out. If they brought it out all at once, it would probably create revolutions within countries and war between countries, because there is so much that has been done that has been done for the wrong reasons, for selfish, greedy, self-interest, and at the cost of the general population. So it's going to be released in increments so that we can handle it and not totally freak out All right. And as these things do happen, please do not get angry or upset. That's going to make the situation for you personally and for the world worse. Please understand that it is being revealed so it can be corrected. And focus on the correction, focus on the solution. Do not focus on what has been or what may still be. We're here to help create a better world, and we cannot create a better world if we focus on what is wrong with what has been and what is going on now. We will simply be making it worse. We're adding energy to what's wrong. And please keep your thoughts focused on what it is you want to replace it. Focus on the world that you want to create. And this is the biggest lesson, I think, for all of us. We're all here to learn to be creators. And we create with our thoughts, our emotions, our ideas, our dreams. And we feed them power by combining thoughts and emotions and holding them and repeating them and strengthening them and sharing them. And if, as you share them, if as many people can join with you and focus their attention on creating it, the more it's going to, more quickly it's going to happen, the more easily it's going to come into being. So we're here to monitor our thoughts. Holding negative thoughts during this 4-year period is a no-no. It is detrimental to you. It's detrimental. There's nothing positive that's going to come out of it. So to monitor your thoughts, to be positive, to be creative, and those people that have wronged us, do not judge them. Send them love. Lord only knows they need to be loved, because so many, the majority of population is going to be sending them hatred. And that's a negative energy. We don't need that, nor do they. So send them love and send them forgiveness and thank them for whatever learning you have gained from their mistakes. All right. So that's a thumbnail sketch of what's ahead and how we are to respond to it. So back to you, Ortrun.
Okay, well, this is what Carl is saying. He's talking more about so much of the outer, but all the energies of what you've experienced actually in 2019. And as Carl said, for us, it was extremely hectic. In our household, on my side of the family, I'm going to say with my children, not Carl's children, not so much, but everyone is moving. It's like we're all being repositioned. Somehow we're just, all of a sudden, everyone is moving. That's so unusual for everyone in the family to find a new residence and so on. But that's what's happening with us. And so many different things have happened, and many deaths in the family, all kinds of big, huge things have happened. And my daughter, she said, it makes me wonder what's ahead. So what is ahead? I mean, the energy flow that's going to be coming into the planet is incredible this year. And the configuration, so we've got, I think it's like 6 major events that are going to be going on throughout the year. And many of them, I think there's like 4 eclipses, not 4 eclipses. There's going to be 2 lunar eclipses and 4, no, it's 2 solar eclipses and 2 lunar eclipses throughout the year. So that's really quite an influence. And when we speak about solar, of course, it always has to do with the outer. At least if you go back to the ancient Egyptian way of interpretation, because the sun is always the expression of the outer, it's that creation. So there's going to be a combination, much of us going within and really recognizing and being exposed to the energies that we have created over our lifetimes. And this lifetime of energy that we have created, it's going to be picked apart by the energies that are coming in from the planets, from the various planets. And the major players in this year are Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. And Pluto is one that puts it right in front of you, exposes everything that has happened, everything that isn't really the greatest within you or about our planet. the things that need to be changed. And there's no, they just hand it to you as a here, this is it, this is the picture. And then Saturn gives you that reality check to see how have I been acting in this, and how have I been moving along. Is it been smoothly, or have I been possibly not following the rules, like the rules of cause and effect, and those kinds of physical rules, and the way that things need to be done so that they flow smoothly and that you move on upward more easily. What are you doing? What's the role that you've been playing? We've all got things that we need to take a look at. And then Jupiter will be coming in with this energy, and that energy will give us that hope. Hey, we can get beyond this. We can get beyond this. So there's many, many types of energies that are going to be flowing around there this year. We're affected by them every single month as it is. But then with these different eclipses going on, you know how strong those are. And the lunar eclipses are the times that it's really taking us within, so that we start thinking about and recognizing and monitoring and realizing what it is that we can do, and giving us that direction. And then the solar eclipses those are the times that shows us that we can really push those ideas forth, so that we can do that creation and move on. But all of it has to do really with the moving into more and deeper into that age of Aquarius. It takes a while for us to really get into the age of Aquarius, which is represented by the fifth dimension. And Carl, he always says that it takes 150 years to actually get to that point where we're living in that fifth dimension. So even though we ended the Piscean age, we were already experiencing some of the energies of the Aquarian age then. But then when we moved into the Aquarium, it's not like we were dropped right into the middle of it and knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
We're still learning and growing, and this showing, this letting go of those, the different things that we have accumulated during those times, those especially through the Piscean age, so that we can now uplift and move into that next spiral. Because every time that we move into another time, there is that transition period that takes place. And so then when we get into that point where, okay, now, like Carl mentions, after 150 years, we're in this space, we're being exposed very much, and many of us already living in that fifth dimension, but yet that's only basically the beginning, because we're going to be moving into yet higher dimensions and levels of awareness and consciousness once we do that. Because when we are at that 150-year period, what time do you think that was?
We began to experience the first small weak waves of Aquarian energy, 1936. And you add 150 years to that, and you're at 2087 is when we will be 100% into Aquarian energy. In 2012, we hit the halfway point. So we have more Aquarian energy now than we do Piscean, but we're still, the Piscean energy is still impacting us.
Right, and those are the things that are going to be drifting away. And as Carl mentioned again, the different things upon the planet that really aren't functioning well. And this year, and the energies that are going to be experiencing throughout this year are going to look at all of the various things. It's like I said, it's me, it's you, it's all of us, but it's also the different structures, like the financial structure and the religious structures. They're all going to be looked at. And we've seen so much through 2019, the exposures. Those are all part of this whole process. And we're going to be seeing more and more and more of that. But in January, January 10th and January 12th are very, very important, because again, there was the eclipses and also the meeting of these different planets that I was speaking of. And what that was starting is a new era, because it was showing that it was at the end of an era, and this particular configuration only happens about every 735 years. So what we're doing, we're ending an era and moving into this new era, that going up. And as I mentioned, it's not going to stop after the 150 years. We're going to spiral and go higher and higher and higher. So the main focus is for us to be extremely positive, to clean up our act and not deny it. You know, many of us have denied it up to this point because we don't want to look at ourselves, but we all have things. So if we can clean our house, it's going to make it so much better. And January, the configurations that put us into a 33-year time frame. And then there are many other additional 20-year time frames and 12-year time frames of different energy vibrations that are going to be being added on top of that. So it's going to be a huge, huge combination of mixtures, and it can toss us around quite a bit, right, Carl?
Yeah, it is. I think we're if you haven't experienced it yet, you're fortunate. But it's going to be a time of rapid change. It's going to be a time of chaos. It's going to be a time of extremely rapid growth. And it demands, or it be most helpful to be open, to be flexible, and to see not things as black and white, but different shades of gray. And it's a great time to visualize possibilities, the possibilities that you would like to bring into reality, and focus the thought and attention and energy on bringing that about. And you can be most effective not working alone, and not just working with other people, but working with your own spirit family. We all have 25 to 30 spirit beings, mostly angels, but also higher aspects of our own soul. We all have teachers working with us, and we have guides from heaven working with us. And in your meditation, to connect with them and to become one in consciousness with them. And whatever it is you're working to achieve, work with them as a team. And you are kind of the point person, because of all of these 25 to 30 beings, you're the only one with a physical body. You're the only one that can ground their energy into the earth. So you're the focal point in that, but they're not allowed to help you unless you ask. Right. So in your meditation, if you're visual, see them. If you're feeling, feel them. But and just in your mind, know that they're there, and know that they are aware of you, and they have a great desire to please you. So whatever it is you want to accomplish, to achieve, ask for their assistance. And I would put this qualification on it. When you ask for something, ask if it be in my highest good, and the highest good of all it's going to impact. And working with their energy and keeping your chakras and your mind and your heart open so that they can ground their thoughts and their energy through you, you become a super person. And you have that ability. We all have that ability as we become one with our soul's family, our spirit family. And it is working with them, and then as you join with other people and encourage them to work with their spirit family, you become extraordinarily powerful. And there's no challenge that can come your way that you can not only meet and overcome, but benefit from. So this is the opportunity that's here. And it's not going to be easy, but it can be super productive, and it can be a fantastic learning.
Oh my gosh. I got to tell our audience, come on. I've been taking notes. Have you? Because I'm seriously writing down over here, because this is yet nuggets in there that it's really an opportunity. And that's what you're highlighting for us, is that this is an opportunity. And one of the things that I wrote down was transitions.
Yeah.
Usually, you know, as light workers, energy workers, when we talk about transitions, usually we're talking about somebody going from a physical life back into spirit, that transition. But really, what the feeling that I got, and I totally concur with it, and that is, our all of us, we're transitioning from one thing to another, not necessarily from life to death, although there are some that are doing that. But really, our transition, I think, is we're going from perhaps just really thinking about that we're spiritual beings and that we have gifts, right? But we're actually being given an opportunity to make the application
Yes.
of our gifts
Yeah.
and our tools, and to do it in a conscious way, right? That we're awake, and as Carla was saying, is that we have this opportunity to really be aware of the decisions that we're making, the thoughts that we're keeping, and to be able to focus, and this is kind of the self-discipline part, to focus our energy on the more positive aspects, and also practice that compassion.
Definitely.
Yeah. And one of the things you said, Orchard, when we were talking about 2020, in numerology, that's a 4, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so from that aspect, the 4 is also a number, Native American, right? We do things in 4s all the time. And it really represents Earth for us, right? And we're in an energy that's both a deconstructive and a constructive. That the things that we are letting go, and many of us started working on this at the end of October, November, December, and we hit New Year's Eve, you know, and we've been working on our focus is what are we letting go? What are we letting go? What are we letting go? And what are we bringing in its place? Yeah. So year 2020, for me, the way I see it, the way I feel it is that we're deconstructing what we don't need anymore. That's no longer service for us, right? Support, and creating a life that is supportive, right? And with that, we're put in a position where we have to consciously claim that we're creative beings. And not just claim it, but to embrace it. Not just talk about it, but actually do it, right? That's what I got out of what you guys are saying, because it was golden, right, guys? It was golden stuff. And so I was furiously taking notes, writing things down. And so thank you so much for bringing that information. I just wanted to pause just for a second so that we can say hi to a few folks that are in the house, so you can see who's here.
All right.
Yeah, Rob, could you bring up a couple of the hellos? Carol, hey, Carol's with us.
Carol,
hi, Carol.
how are you?
Yep, Carol. Yeah, that auto right? That auto spell. Just wanted to change Ortrun's name.
Oh,
you're too. Hi, Violet. It's good to have
Violet. How are you? It's good to see you tonight. Oh, Karen.
Karen's here too. Hello, Karen. They look good, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Hi to everybody.
Thanks for being with us.
And Barbara's here too.
How are you?
Good to see you. It's good to have you in the house. Hey, Rob's here too.
Hey, big helper tonight.
Cindy Lynn.
Okay.
She says, Could you bring that one back up, please?
Yeah.
Cindy Lynn says, I don't have the energy to handle the hectic, and I'm 38. What you mean? Hey, PJ's in the house. Holly Joe. Oh, thank you, Polly Joe. She sent it over to some friends, the show. Angie.
Oh,
Hi, Angie.
hi,
Hello.
Angie. You.
Oh,
Oh, there's
oh,
There's us.
thank you, Rob, for putting up their website
That's
address.
good.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I just also wanted to make sure there wasn't any questions in the house too. So, and that's actually a good. Oh, Carol's saying something. She says, Neshi, what you said put together what Carl said about calling on your team and remembering to keep the highest good for all was good for me to hear. Oh, good, good. Thank you, Carol.
Good.
I wanted to comment, expand a little bit on what you said, Neshi. You said something about the compassion. And that is an extremely important thing for us, being supportive of each other, especially during this time, because we all need that support. And you might feel that you are being supportive, but sometimes the statements we say that they aren't really, they don't seem very supportive. It's really important to be tuned in to your friends and your loved ones and support them in a much deeper way now, because the things that they're going through and the things that they're going to be working their way through, these are very, very deep things. You mentioned the transitions, and with change, we talk about transition, and we speak about moving into the spiritual realm, or doing your transitioning into the heavenly realm. But the transitions upon the planet, with it also comes that death. And with that death of what it is that you are letting go of, there are those times of grieving. And there are those times where you really need to have that support of your loved ones around. So for us to be aware, very much aware, that these are real things. And these are big initiations we're going through now. These are not little ones that we're letting go, small things. This is the time that we are going to be letting go of things we've been hanging on to for lifetimes. It's not something that we just did and it's over with and we say we're sorry now. But patterns, for instance, that we've had lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. These are the types of things that we are going to be moving through, so that we can be of a greater service to the planet, and so that we can move more readily and more quickly into that fifth dimension, that place of love, peace, and joy, right, Carl?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My spirit family's been talking to me, and they said there's an element here that can be very important, and anyway, what they said was we're all in the process of releasing. And when we release something, we automatically create a void. And they said, if you don't consciously fill that void, whatever can slip into it is going to fill it for you. And they said, so when you release, you go into phase 2, or the second step is with your mind and with your heart working together, fill that void with what it is that you feel would make you a better person. You can fill it with love, with light, with peace, with joy, with compassion, with understanding, with caring, concern, whatever, at that point you feel the need of. So in this way, you're not only getting rid of something negative, but you're automatically then replacing it with something positive. So it's a double hit. It's a win-win situation instead of just having a win situation.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So true. What Carl is saying, and this is something that we should be doing not just this year but always.
Yes.
And any type of activity that you're involved in, as far as with healing and just letting go. Every time you are really throughout the day, when you think, okay, I'm going to eliminate this in my life, put that new thought out there. If you're meditating and you're releasing things within your meditation, make certain that you're bringing that divine radiant light and love. Because what you're doing is you're opening this space up where that energy has been held for a long, long time. And if it's not replaced by those positive, beautiful energies, and which include that light, love, peace, joy, then it's going to be open and something else can slip in very, very easily. So we're all very susceptible to bringing back in energies we really don't want.
Right.
So we really do need to be very aware of that. And I think it's easy to forget about it. I know about it, but then I don't think about it all the time. So to be much more aware that this is something that's really, really important, especially since we are going to be experiencing and we will be bombarded with many things that we need to take a look at. And Nisha, you mentioned the 4 is the number for the earth, and it's also the number for solid foundation.
Yes.
Because it's that square of the pyramid, so it's that solid foundation, and that's what we want to go forth with from here on out. Those things we no longer need, they did serve us. We should actually, let's thank them. We need to thank them all. It's like releasing, moving into a new home and letting go of these various different things. If you can, it's best to say thank you. Thank you for the service that you have given to me to this point. But now it's time for me to move into a different space. And I bless you and release you.
Yeah. You know, and I really do believe what it feels like to me is, you know, we've always called Earth, our time here is like we're in a school, right? And that we're here to learn. And our soul is here to learn even more, to gain even more wisdom, right? And so what I look at this new decade, starting with 2020, of course, is more like we really are in that graduate and PhD level. It's just not the rudimentary classes anymore. That we're actually taking everything that we've learned, and we start putting it into taking the awareness of it and putting it into practice. Right? And some people maybe will still be in theory, and that's okay. But it's really about walking our talk. It's about really putting it into practice. And I think where we're challenged, of course, there's lots of places that we're challenged, but the challenge is to be compassionate and loving to someone that you find abhorrent. You know, that their behavior is something that is completely against what you believe or what you think. Right. And rather, as Carol was saying, is rather than adding to the negative and making the negative even more a larger field, is to actually put love to it and to help transform that into a higher frequency. And so that is the challenge, because it's easy for us two-legged as humans to go into the other direction, because we've been doing that for many lifetimes, right? And I loved what you said about when we release something and to let it go and to fill it with a higher vibration, right? Love. One of the things that when we don't fill that void that we created with love or light or whatever you want in your life that's positive, what ends up happening, because we're creative beings, we recreate something similar to what we let go.
Yes.
That's often true.
Wonder, why am I still in the same place? Right. Yeah. And I'm sorry, you were going to say something. You were going to say.
Oh, okay, yes. Nessie, you mentioned 4 is the sign of the earth. And it isn't just us and humans and animals and so on that are going through this adjustment, because the energies are increasing and it impacts everything in, on, and above the planet. And perhaps it impacts the planet more than all of them combined. And I get a daily report on events happening on the surface of the earth, like earthquakes and storms and floods and hurricanes and droughts and so on. And the last week, the number of of earthquakes, it's been much higher than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Average day, they call it megs, which it's a measurement of the force of hurricanes. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and a 7 meg hurricane or earthquake is, you're going to lose buildings. All right, and a 5 buildings are going to be shaking. Well, as the planet, it normally is about in the range of 250 to 300 megs a day in earthquakes. This last week, it's been bouncing between 6 and 800 a day. All right. So earthquake activity has increased, and it seems to go in cycles. It'll speed up for a period of time, then it will quiet back down to the 300, and then it'll speed up again. Well, right now we're in a rapid phase, which says that the continents are shifting at a very rapid rate. And in your meditation, you can be a conduit for the higher frequency energies coming into the planet because of the planet alignments, because of energy being sent by the Palladians and the Octurians and so on. And you can ground some of that energy into the earth. In your meditation, if you will consciously ask that your chakras be wide open and be at the highest possible frequency, and feel or sense that energy coming into you through your crown chakra and moving down through your third eye and your throat chakra, your heart, and moving down through your lower chakras, and some of it exiting out of your feet into the earth. Mm-hmm. And with that energy, that higher frequency energy you're sending to the earth, add your love and add your gratitude. Yeah. Thank the earth for being your home, for providing for all of your physical needs. All right? And doing this with your spirit family, that's going to amplify that 10, 100-fold. And if we help the earth make her adjustment, it's going to be easier on her, which is going to make it easier on us and all life on the planet. All right. And I think that's one of the things that we as light workers are here to do. We're here to show compassion and concern for literally Mother Earth. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question, Carl. These earthquakes, when they occur, especially the large earthquakes that you were speaking about, and they occur in a certain part of the world, what's the reason for that? Is that because this cleansing needs to occur at that particular place, or
the Earth is reconfiguring its surface?
Okay.
And the continents are moving, and some of the edges of some continents are sliding under the edge of another continent, which is what's happening on our west coast. The Pacific plate is sliding under the west coast plate. Mm-hmm. So the west coast, and it's this action that has created the Rocky Mountains. In fact, all mountain ranges have been created by earthquake activity, mm-hmm. as well as volcanic activity. And earthquake and volcanic activity are closely intertwined with each other. So right now, the Caribbean plate is being tipped. And so part of the Caribbean islands are going to be being submerged, and others are going to be raised because of the tilting. Part of it's raising, part of it is sliding under. So, and this is happening, I don't know how many plates there are on the Earth, but the earthquake activity is I don't think it's going to be slowing down. It will still have these cycles, but these cycles will progressively get more intense. So don't be afraid of it. And when it happens, recognize what's happening. It's the earth reconfiguring itself. As we change, the earth change has to occur on the earth in order for it to grow, for it to, the increased frequencies. Well, if you increase the frequency of something, the atoms that make it up are expanding.
Mm-hmm.
So as the frequency of the Earth increases, the continents are expanding, and which creates the movement. And I think if you could measure it from space, you would in time be able to see the Earth is becoming larger as the frequencies increase.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because everything, all atoms, the faster they spin, the bigger they become, because they need to counteract the centrifugal force. Okay, so anyway, that is happening. So keep the Earth in your meditations and express your care, your concern, and your gratitude to it. Help it go through its ascension process. All right, and in doing that, you will help all life in, on, and above the Earth too.
I just want to bring up a request right now. Now that we're talking about earthquakes, is our niece, and I don't even think I've told Carl this, is that they're out, the whole family's flying to Jamaica because her son is getting married on the 3rd of February. And this last week there was a 7, right?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. And then
in Jamaica.
In Jamaica, right? Yeah. And then, well, it's actually just outside. It's very close to where they're going to be. Actually, there've been 2 aftermath, and they were rating. I think they were at 5.
Yeah, I think
where
so.
they were registering was 5. So, and I don't know how long these happen. These aftershocks happen. Do you?
Normally, it's relatively soon, within a matter of days.
Okay. Well, anyhow, so please send some light and love that direction for our sake, because they're quite concerned, and my nephew's not usually very concerned about things, but he specifically wrote his mother and said, there was an earthquake very close to where we're going here, and so they're all flying in there already, within the next couple days. Mm-hmm. So I would appreciate that. Now that we're speaking about earthquakes and so on. So, but really truly, when this happens around the planet, when you hear about it, it is very important to add your light, your love, and to send that healing energy into those particular places, no matter who's going there or not. It's just a good thing for us to do. There's so many things for us to remember here on the planet. That's for sure, isn't it? There's so much work that we can do, yes, and so much assistance we can give through our prayers and our meditations and good thoughts. So I'm thinking, if you find a way that you can put it together and just do it in one grouping, for instance, this is not with earthquakes, but there's so many requests that come in for healing prayer or different challenges people have. And so what I've done is I put a cloud. I set up a cloud out in the universe, out into the heavens, and I put the people in there that ask for assistance, because it's really hard to remember everyone's name as much as you want to. There's just so much going on all the time. And then I send divine radiant light and love, healing light and love to that cloud every single day, maybe morning and night during my meditation times. And then I also visualize that they're being healing light and love and energies throughout the 24-hour cycle as others are actually praying, so that as those prayers are going around our planet, they're also being touched by those prayers, so that the healing process might occur a little bit quicker.
Right. I was just going to add that, that we also have to make sure that we are individually nurtured and taken care of, and that we do our grounding, mm-hmm, and our centering and protection in a regular way, whether you do it twice a day or to get into a habit of doing it, so that when situations arise, you're not shocked so much that you're knocked off balance, right?
Yes.
And that when those requests come in, for instance, when Jamaica had their 7 earthquake, and you see it come up in your notifications, or somebody sent you this, right? So that you're in a position to be able to send those prayers from a grounded position.
Yes.
A balanced position. And so that as Carl was saying, we're not adding our own fears to the mix, but we're adding our balance and our love to it rather than our fear.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
of course, do that for ourselves.
Order 2, and we got a treat for us because Ortrun, and we were talking just before the show, I was asking if Ortrun would like to do a meditation tonight, and she said she would. So yeah, why don't we do that, and then I'll take us close to the show, and then we can share a little bit right after the meditation. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. So let's take a moment and allow yourself to settle into this time where we can blend our energies together. So take a few deep breaths and feel the sense of the divine presence of your spirit family surrounding you and enfolding you, placing divine protection around you. And as this occurs, begin to sense the energy that you carry within you, within your heart. And feel this energy, this divine radiant energy that is in the core of your being, the soul, your divine essence, as it begins to radiate from within you. That core of you that is connected to the divine I am, to Creator, to the all. Begin to sense it as it flows. It radiates from the center of your heart, and it blends with divine mind. And it fills your being as it draws together all of your bodies, your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, auric, astral, soul, divine bodies. Begin to sense the coming together of the true essence of your being. And as you do so, the energies from the heart and mind of Creator God flow through you so gently but powerfully. And they touch all of your energy centers. And they flow deeply through every part of you, radiating every direction, touching every energy center, the many, many that are within all of your bodies. So it radiates outward. But the main energy flow going through the main chakras flows on down and anchors itself into the core of our planet Earth. So this divine essence is anchoring itself into the planet and radiating from each and every one of us, blending with the energies of those that are present here in this show at this time, creating a stronger, more vibrant energy, vibratory frequencies. And as it flows from each and every one of us, it flows out also from the core of the planet. And it touches all that is upon the planet, all of the energies that are within our planet Earth. See it flowing through the rivers, the underground rivers within the planet, and the rivers that are above upon the earth plane, the outer earth plane, and these vibratory frequencies of light, love, peace, joy, goodness, strength, honor, glory, they're all flowing through the rivers of life within the planet and above the planet. And as these rivers are flowing, they meet the oceans and blend together with the oceans that are within the planet and surrounding the planet. So that every vibratory frequency of light and love is being blended together within the core of the earth and out from the earth core into its crust, reaching outward and blending with the energies upon the surface of our planet. And as you glance upon our planet at this time, notice the changes that are taking place. The vibratory frequencies being uplifted. And as they're uplifted on the planet, know that this is also occurring within each and every one. Balance, harmony. The many, many frequencies of light are blending together. And as all of these vibratory frequencies blend together, it's though it is part of a rocket ship and it starts to lift off. It brings the planet Earth out from its base and it uplifts this planet and everyone upon it and everything, every plant, every animal, every piece of soil. It lifts all of it upward, raising it into higher dimensions of awareness and consciousness. We are moving from the end of the Piscean age into the Aquarian age. And see the planet as it is being uplifted through these years until we have reached being in the center of the Aquarian energies. True love, light, peace, and joy. But know that this is only the beginning of our process and the process of our planet Earth, for we have moved to the next spiral, the next dimension of light, of love, of peace, and of joy. And in your mind's eye, how many spirals of light will you walk during this time as we are moving through, into, and above these energies of these tremendous ages? And as you do so, the energies that you carry with you, how it impacts not only yourself, but everyone. And find yourself moving on through the universes, where your energies have been lifted higher and higher. And you move ever closer and closer and closer until you have now blended with the all, with all that there is. the vibration of one. Know that this is all part of you, all for one and one for all. Experience these energies. Sense the vibration of one within you, the heartbeat of the divine, of the all that there is, united completely, acting as one. This is your reality. Allow yourself to tap into these energy vibrations, this energy vibration that is all but one. And carry this out into your world every day as you walk upon planet Earth. And so it is. So it is. So it is.
Oh. Thank you, Ortrun.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, we're near the top of the hour. And I don't know, I'd like to leave a little bit of time here, both for Ortrun and Carl. Do you guys have a class or anything that you want us to know about so that we know how to either get in touch with you about it, or do you have anything coming up you'd like to share?
Well, all we've got coming up is, and this is all really good in the calendar right now because there's such a transition state, is we have the Mystery School the third Thursday of the month, and that's in our area. That's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So if anyone is from that area, you're always welcome to be here. And if you're not from that area, you're passing through, you're more than welcome to be part of that. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. And in order to be part of that, you can come anytime, but it's nice to know approximately who's coming or if you need directions. And then you can go on our website, and which is ourspiritualascension.com, and let us know. And then our other is, of course, our Thursday night, last Thursday of the month show with you, Neshi. That's what we're doing right now. But also other places you can get information is, for instance, through the magazine that comes out every month. I took a couple months off, but now I'm starting to write again for the magazine. I'm going to mention eventually my book's going to come out.
Aren't you going to say anything about your book? Or would you like me to do that?
Well, you can say something. It's going to be coming out this year, right, Neshi?
Yes, it is. We have set a date of May 9th for Ortrun's book, Key of Life, to be published. And so it's a compilation of all of her articles, well, a good portion of her articles about the Mystery School that she's written for Star Nations magazine, and all of the meditations that she has to go with those as well. So, yay, it's gonna be published this year. It'll be an ebook as well. So, yay! Yeah, that's we've been working on that one. And yes, in the magazine as well. The January issue is out. Rob, can you bring up the cover for that, please? The January issue is available, and you can go to our website, starnations.org, and you can click on the magazine button, and it'll give you all the information about how to get that. And we're working on the February issue right now, and that'll be out on February 10th. So this is the January cover that we're looking at. So thank you,
Yeah.
Rob. Yeah, I like it. Of course, I know I'm partial.
Of course.
And if you wouldn't mind visiting starnations.org, check out the Academy button. We've got several online classes that are coming up. Drum making class in June and an in-person class in May. There's classes there for you guys to check out. And so with that, any final words before we say goodnight?
Neshi, I've got a book out too called Earth Ascension.
Yeah.
And that's just go on our website and you can order that, or give us a call and we can mail it to you. And then Ortrun does healing work and chakra work, and I do live script reading. So if you want any of that, again, either call us or go on the website, and we'd be happy to be of service to you if you need it.
And there's also on our website, we do have somebody shows, even when I was doing the WIN network, when we were doing the WIN network, this is the Wisdom and Intuition Network. So we have the archives on our site. So if you want to listen to some of those, and when I was with the WIN network, that's when I did the pyramid temples of the Nile, the mystery temples of the Nile of Egypt. So that might be something that you'd be interested in maybe taking a look at.
Yeah. Visit their website. They got some really great stuff on their website. So you'll enjoy it and check it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
hey, you all have a stay collected and stay cheerful.
Yes. It's going to be an interesting year, and there's going to be many energies, unusual types of feelings and energies, because we're not quite used to the powerfulness, the activeness of them. But know to keep your balance, and that you'll walk through that. And it's not 2020 is not a year that, okay, this is happening this year and it's done. This is a beginning. This is the beginning of greater things, because of these different cycles that are being set up in this year, 33-year cycles and 12-year cycles, many times over, and 20-year cycles of new beginnings. So there are many energies that are coming in, but they don't stop just in this year. They will be going on and carrying that energy through many years.
And thank you, Neshi.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. You're so welcome.
welcome.
Yeah. And thank you,
Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone that listens in.
We're really
Our blessings to you.
Yes,
to have
thank
you
you,
with us.
everybody. And we'll see you next month, the last Thursday of the month, for Living in Two Worlds at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. Good night.
Yes.
Good night.